Hello there. Can you hear us? Check, check. How is everybody today? Thank you for joining our very first. Hi, everyone. I just want to make sure that everybody can hear us. My name is Leslie Vincent, and I'm with Melton Truck Lines. And this is my coworker Jade Hightower.
Hi, everybody.
If you guys don't know much about Melton, hopefully after this 45-minute webinar or so that you'll be very informed, and we welcome all the questions. Please type those questions in and we'll get your questions answered at the end of this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Ask away. We're here to kind of answer all of your questions. That way, whenever you leave, you kind of have all the information you need.
Yep. Yeah, that's exactly right. So I'm Leslie, again, with Melton, and I manage our field recruiting program here at Melton Truck Lines. I've been with Melton for 21 years, and I can tell you 1,000 reasons why I've stayed here that long, and hopefully you'll hear some of those reasons in just a little bit. And like I said, this is Jade, and Jade just joined our field recruiting team about 2 months ago, but her background has been recruiting, so she's been a phone recruiter for the past couple years.
Yeah, almost 3. So new to field recruiting, but not so new to recruiting in general.
Yeah, and she is actually taking them on a lot of our schools in South Texas. So if you're going to a truck driving school, you might see her. And so we'll talk about some of those things here in just a little bit. But
yeah.
Anyway, what we're going to talk to you about is what our pay package looks like here at Melton, all the wonderful places we go, all the great things we do, our benefits and such. So like I said, those questions that you have, please submit them, and we will get to those here in a little bit.
Yeah.
So the very first thing I want to talk to you guys about is pre-hire letters. So if you're an entry-level driver and you haven't found a school, there's a lot of schools that we refer our folks to that don't have a CDL, and that's on our website. We have schools all over the United States that we go to that we highly recommend. So if you're in a school right now and you're looking to get hired with a company, what you want to do and what we really encourage is pre-hire letters. That's you get your application in to the company you're interested in, and then we check backgrounds and all that stuff, and run your motor vehicle report, do your interviews, and get you scheduled for orientation. Pre-hire letters are really nice to have because then you can figure out who's going to hire you and what choices you have on trucking companies. So if you're an experienced driver, and that's great, just give us a call and we'll take your application over the telephone as well and get you set up for orientation. But entry level pre-hires are really important because it just lets you see where you can go work.
And in school's the time to do that. So kind of already having that done takes that load off. You're not worried about where you're going to go afterwards. Once you have pre-hires from companies that you're interested in, that means that you kind of have a list of companies that have seen what you're offering and they're excited to bring you on once you graduate.
Yeah, excellent. So Jade, will you tell us a little bit about the opportunities here at Melton?
Absolutely. So
Awesome.
If you guys don't know, Melton does specialize only over-the-road flatbed. That's kind of what we specialize in. So the one good thing about us is we're going to teach you top to bottom what that looks like. We're not going to expect you to have flatbed experience whenever you're coming on. We're going to be able to teach you that. So even if you're entry level and have never done flatbed, if it's even something you're interested in, and we're going to talk a little bit more about what it looks like, but if it's even something you're interested in, we're going to be able to teach you those skills. We're not going to expect you to have that beforehand. We're also going to have you run in all 48 states, so you're going to get to see, this beautiful country and everything it has to offer and have so many cool opportunities. I do want to mention something really quick. We have one regional position, so not one position, but one regional run. That's if you live in Tulsa or Dallas or Houston, it may be something that could work for you. Mm-hmm. There is a waiting list, so it's just kind of as need arises, but we've had some openings recently, so if that's something you're interested in as well, stay on because we're going to talk a little bit more about that too.
Awesome. Thank you for that. One thing that we pride ourselves on, and that's our commitment to our military men and women. We have a military field recruiter. His name is Jeff, and he goes to installations all over the United States and hires phenomenal people from truck driving schools at military bases. We have a 2-year apprenticeship program, and it's a very rich program, financially rich. And like I said, it's 2 years. So if we have any veterans that are interested and would like to use their GI Bill, please let us know, and I can have Jeff reach out to you guys or David and visit with you all about that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So kind of a little bit more about Melton. So one of the things we also pride ourselves on is how much we care for our drivers. So that's something that's kind of near and dear to every single person here. And so one of the things that we kind of like to talk about is how awesome it is that our CEO, Bob Peterson, holds a Class A. So all of you guys who are experienced drivers and trainees, our CEO, the one who's making the decisions, has been in your position, knows what it's like to go through school and, take the test and do all the stuff that kind of stresses you out a little bit, but he's been there, he knows what it's like. So he's definitely making decisions and focusing on what's important to you guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and so kind of how he does that, he really makes sure that we have 24/7 safety support for you guys. So especially being over the road with us, when you're out there, you want to make sure you have a way to get in touch with someone, someone who can help you right away. So 24/7, you're going to be able to call in, get someone on the phone that can help you.
That's awesome. Yeah, because we have 24/7 safety, dispatch.
Yeah.
And yeah, things happen at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
And you have to have help. Trucks break down. Ours don't break down often. But when they do, you want that support.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Especially at 2 a.m. You don't want to wait till 8 just sitting there.
Yeah, for sure. And the everyone knows your name piece. I love that.
Yes. So that was one of the things whenever, especially our CEO was out there, driving, it sucks to be called just by just a truck number. So whenever you're, in a terminal and someone's like truck number 1, 2, 3, you don't really want to be called that. You want them to get to know you. And so that's something we focus on a lot. Every single person here, if you're going through Tulsa, is going to take the time to get to know you, your likes, dislikes. I mean, I feel like I know our drivers' families and stuff like that as they come through. So that's so important to us, and we're going to make sure that you feel welcome when you come.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so we're going to talk about now is our equipment. And, looking at companies out there, and I know with experienced drivers, you guys know to do research, and I know you know what's important to you in what you want in a tractor. Entry level folks, I think, need a little bit more guidance in this area, so I'm going to spend a minute on this piece, and that's about equipment. So Melton, what we have here is primarily Kenworths. We have T680s, and they're top of the line. Our average trades about 42 months, so a little over, close to 4 years, actually about 3.5. So we have a really, really new state-of-the-art fleet. And we also have some Peets. We got about 100 of those this year, and then we have some Freightliners. But like I said, primarily they're Kenworths. They're all automatics. All of them automatics. I'm going to repeat that because that's always a question that comes up when we're giving presentations is, are they standard or automatics? So they are fully automatics. All the trailers are 53 feet long, just so you know, and like Jade mentioned, we're all flatbed, so 100% flatbed. Okay, so what's inside the trucks? So what's inside the trucks is things that are very, very important. The first thing is a refrigerator. You want a refrigerator in your truck, and I don't have to ask the reason, why is that, but I'm going to say, why is that to you, Jade?
Yeah, because you don't want to only be eating honey buns from the gas station every day.
Yeah.
I know for me, I would want at least something I can make, something that's good, and the only way you can keep, that good food on hand is being able to have a refrigerator that holds it for you.
Yes, yeah. So in truck stops, historically, are pretty not very healthy. Now this is historically, and some I think are getting a lot better with providing healthier choices. Sometimes they're a little dirty. I mean, just to have your refrigerator with all your stuff in there is just, it's a better option.
Right.
And then the inverter.
Oh,
You definitely want to drive for a carrier that has an inverter. And ours are around 1,500 to 1,800 watts. Now, why do you want an inverter?
because you want to be able to have a TV or a crock pot or microwave or whatever makes that place a home for you.
Yeah, exactly. So you definitely want an inverter. A lot of carriers don't provide inverters, and they will not let you put that in. So to have your TV, to have your microwave, to have a crock pot or a George Foreman grill, something like that in their tractor is going to be essential.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah. Mostly they have double bunks. A lot of the bunks are heated. They have bunk heaters in them, which is cool. I'm looking just at my little cheat sheet here. I think that's kind of it with the inside of the tractors.
Yeah.
But they're very well maintained.
Yeah, and you can also look at those specs online too. Definitely, doing your research on kind of what these trucks look like will help you out a lot.
Yeah.
Being prepared.
Yes. And I'm loving all these questions you guys are sending. They're right there. I'm looking at them right now, and as soon as we get done, but keep sending them to us. We will get to these questions, I promise.
Yeah, after we kind of make it through the brochure, we'll do a Q&A and just hit on them all.
Yeah. Yep. So if you have any questions about equipment, put it in there, and we'll ask that because I might have forgotten something.
So, yeah, let's get into kind of the nitty-gritty of talking about pay for you guys. So before we get into how great our pay package is, because it really is great, I do want to touch on what flatbed looks like. So flatbed is, it's more physically demanding. So while, I want you to be prepared for that, I would hate for you to come on board and not understand. I definitely want to make sure it's mentioned. But some drivers pick it for that reason.
Yeah.
You're getting to physical activity. You're also being able to take some time and not just driving. You're getting out of the truck, stretching your legs, being able to think through loads. So it's a really cool job. However, you are lifting about 90 pounds, which that's a lot of weight. That's a lot of weight. So before you come on board, you want to make sure that's something that you're physically able to do. You're also experiencing a lot, like I said, all 48. So think about all the different weathers, through the U.S. So you're going to be experiencing cold weather and hot weather, rain, stuff like that. And you want to be prepared to be out there tarping.
Yeah.
And strapping, securing your loads during that time.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jade and I just took a trip to Houston and Austin and visited some mighty fine schools down in South Texas. But you talk about humid.
Yeah.
Oh my. It was like, could you imagine tarping in this heat? I mean, those are things that you really have to think about with flatbed. And I think and feel like we do a really good job with being transparent about that stuff, because flatbedding is not for everyone. A lot of people get into flatbed though because exactly what she's saying, the physical exercise, the pay, and we're going to talk about the pay on the tarping here in a second. It's enormous.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's like the top in the industry but it's because it's hard work.
Yeah.
But people want to do flatbed too because they don't want to sit and bump docks all day long.
Exactly. They want to be able to kind of take that time and get new different loads. And so that's something we do a lot. So we move about 600 different types of freight. So you're going to get to experience some really cool things. We've moved Humvees, DOD loads. We've also helicopters, So you're going to get to experience some cool things. Some other, stuff we move a lot is, steel and aluminum, lumber. So there's a lot you're going to get to do, and that's why drivers like flatbed. Yeah. It's something different every time, and it's something new.
Yeah, diverse.
Exactly.
Freight that we haul, and they get to get out and check loads, and look at get outside. It's a beautiful spring day.
Right.
And go out and tarp an hour or two. Generally it's about what it takes is an hour to 2 hours to tarp a load. But again, then it's winter time, and it's Minnesota, and it's cold. But we're going to teach you those tips and tricks on how to keep warm and cool in the summer and such. So, that flatbed is just definitely rewarding for a lot of different reasons.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what's our paychecks?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
So what does that look like? Because you're doing this work, so what are we going to pay you for it? So with us, right out of CDL school, so you just got that license in hand and you're ready to get started, we're going to bring you on at 47 cents per mile. So that's something that is really good. It was one of our biggest. We had a pay increase just this year, and it was the biggest in our company's history. So we're definitely listening to you guys and wanting to make this job worth your while. So like I said, right off the bat, 47 cents per mile. What is that tarp pay going to look like? We're going to pay you $100 per load for tarping. So you're going to do that about 2 to 3 times a week. If you start doing the math on that, what does that look like weekly, monthly, yearly? It adds up quick. So while that is a little bit tougher work, it's going to be something that adds a lot to your paycheck.
Yeah, it's about $10,000 extra a year.
A year. Yeah.
And TARP pay alone.
Yeah, that's not your cents per mile.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're good.
I just get so excited about the TARP pay.
And so, like I said, 47 cents. But then you're not going to be there for very long. So we're going to be moving you up cents per mile wise very quick. So at just 3 months, you're going to go up again to 48. At 6 months, you'll go up again to 49. At 9 months, you go up again to 50. And then at a year, so you've only been with us 1 year, you're going to go up again to 56 cents per mile. So that's a huge jump, 47 to 56 within just a year's time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're moving up fast.
Yeah.
It's definitely an awesome pay package for sure.
Awesome. I have to give a shout out to somebody that I just saw that submitted a comment. Randall Staggs, hello. How are you? We miss you. Randall worked for Melton for a long time, and as we miss you and wish you nothing but the best. I hope you're doing okay, friend. So I just wanted to say
that's
hi.
awesome.
Yeah. All right, great. So that's the base pay piece.
Yes. That's our most basic pay package.
Right. So I'll recap that real quick. What she said at entry level, this is after orientation, you're going to start at 47 cents a mile. Okay, and this is after you get off your trainer truck, and we'll talk about orientation and then training here in a second. When you're off your trainer truck, 47, right?
47.
3 months. 3 months, you're at what?
48.
48. 6 months?
49.
That's right. And 9 months?
50.
And then at 1 year?
56.
Yeah, that's big stuff. I mean, it's a lot of money. So we're very, very proud of our pay package, and we're excited to be paying our drivers this kind of wages because it's well deserved.
Yeah.
Now, the extra opportunities I want to talk to you guys about are even just as good. So, like she said, the TARP pay is $100, and you're going to do that a couple times a week, 2 to 3 times a week. So let's just go on the lower end. That's $200 extra
Every week. Yes.
And we pay every Friday, by the way.
Yeah. Weekly.
Yeah. So, and then that's what, about $800 a month, and that's just tarping twice.
Yeah.
So that's TARP pay. Then, if you were to get an OD load, an over-dimensional load, that pays an extra 16 cents. That's 16 cents on top of the 47 or 48 or 49. Do we haul a lot of over-dimensional? No. But I want you to know if you do get an OD load, it's going to pay very, very well.
Yeah.
We have hazmat loads. Do we haul a lot of hazmat? No, we don't. But if you got a hazmat load, which is usually roofing material, glue specifically, it's an extra 6 cents on top of the 47, 48, whatever. Okay, if you go to Canada, if you got a Canada load, those loads generally generate from South Texas around Laredo, and they go all the way up into Quebec, Ontario, and into Canada. That's an extra 6 cents. And that's from the beginning to the end, all the way into Canada. That's a big, big run. It's a couple thousand miles. And so 6 cents on top of your base pay. And then you get a $75 border crossing into Canada as well. And it's not forced dispatch, neither is hazmat, but the more credentials you have, the more freight you're going to get.
Yeah.
And let me repeat that. The more credentials you have, the more freight you'll get. So if you can get your TWIC card, your Transportation Worker ID card, which is handy, you'll need that for ports. And down in Houston, we've got a lot of ports. People need their TWIC cards. And then the hazmat, like I mentioned, and then the passport. Those are all, none of these things are mandatory,
right,
but they will generate more loads. We have extra pay for clean DOT inspections. Why are we rewarding you for that? Well, because it's $25, and to keep your truck clean and making sure the PMs and everything like that are getting done is important. So we do reward you for that as well. If you have a clean DOT inspection, we give you $25. Tuition reimbursement for my entry-level people that are listening to us or watching us. That's $10,000 on tuition. So if you're a recent CDL grad or you're going to school right now, we pay $150 a month to you, up to $10,000.
Yep.
And we have a really nice sign-on bonus right now. So we're offering $1,500 to a entry-level person that's got less than 5 months experience. So you get $750 in
Just 3 months.
3 months, right? And then
Yep.
$750
At 6
in
months.
6 months. That's the sign-on bonus for entry level, $1,500. So 90 days and 6 months is how it pays. If you're an experienced driver, if you have more than 5 months experience recent, more than 5 months recent over the road, that pays how much?
$5,000.
And how's that pay out?
Half at 3 months and then half at 6 months.
Yep.
So again, it's quick payout.
Yes, very, very nice.
Yeah.
If you refer someone, this is going to pay the same. If you refer an entry level person that's got less than 5 months, we'll call them for you. We'll handle all the tough questions about background and all those things. But if we hire them, you get $1,500. And you get $750 in 30 days.
30
And then
days.
you get $750 in 6 months as long as they're employed with Milton. If you refer someone that's got
5 months or
Yep,
more
right.
of over the road.
Yes.
So if you talk to someone, they have 5 months or more recent over the road experience, we'll pay you $5,000 for that.
Yeah.
Again, you're going to get half at that 30-day mark. This is for the referral, the 30-day mark, and then half at 6 months if they're still employed with us.
Yeah, yeah. So we've got a very generous sign-on bonus and also referral bonus program.
Yeah.
So that's just some extra opportunities that we wanted to share with you guys because you can make a lot of extra money doing that. I think we
Right.
had someone that's made like close to $10,000. Well, I think it was the first quarter
Right.
of this year in
referrals
bonuses.
So that's not considering any of his just basic cents per mile pay. This is just extra supplement income that they can kind of add on to it.
Yeah. So if you've got any questions about that pay, shoot those to us too, and we'll address those. And then one other thing I wanted to mention was our per diem option. So that's 14 cents. So 14 cents of whatever your base pay is, what per diem means is that it would not be taxed. So for example, let's just use 48 cents. 14 of that 48 cents is, if you choose per diem, is not taxed. And that's going to be about an extra probably $200 a month on your paycheck. It's an option. You don't have to do it, but I did want to let you know we do. And we don't pay or keep any of that cents per CPM on that 14 cents. We just charge an admin fee and that's it. And it's very minimum. I think it's $25 a week.
Yeah, and there is a, on our website, if you go to Melton's website, there's actually a calculator that you can put in your own information and see what that per diem would do for you. You can see if it's something that would work.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so
kind of piggybacking off that pay, looking at what we're going to, how we're going to train you to do this job. So coming on board, we're going to put you through if you're new, coming on board with us, we're going to put you through a 14-day on-the-job training in Tulsa. So we're going to get you to our main terminal for that. So we're going to pay for your transportation to get here. We're also going to provide you your hotel stay while you're here in a private room. Definitely something that you want to be asking companies if you're talking with is, if you're going to be sharing a room. So we have you in a private one with us. We'll also be able to provide your breakfast and your lunch every day. And we'll pay you $1,200 for those 14 days. And you're actually paid during that time you're here. So you're not waiting until you're completely done to get that amount. You're getting paid while you're here. And kind of what that looks like. So that first week, it's really foundational. You're getting different departments from Melton coming in, just giving you a really good understanding of what we're about. We're also, going through, trip planning and our Qualcomm system, making sure you understand all those basics. But that second week is going to be the most imperative part. So that's where we focus on securement. So we're teaching you, we have about 40 different loads on our lot. We're going to make sure that you just have time out there practicing tarping, strapping, securing, all these different loads. So when you do get your own truck, you're ready for that.
Yeah, that's really important. That second week of orientation is just critical because whether you're going with a trainer or not, it really sets you up well to do flatbed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I always say that flatbed's kind of an art. And the more exposure that you have to it, the easier it gets. Like I said, it takes a couple months to get good at it, I think.
Yeah.
But we have a really big support system out there for folks too that have questions about loads and such. So,
Yeah.
but
And
we
that's-
cover a lot of them during that 14 days.
Right, and I hear a lot of drivers that we do talk to. This job has a little bit more, critical thinking, being able to look at a load and kind of understand what that looks like and what you need to do with it. So it is something that we teach you too, how to think through a load and kind of figure it out. So it's a little bit more actually thinking through instead of just
just doing it.
Yeah.
For sure. So the next thing we want to talk about is the actual training. When you go out with a trainer, this is for the entry level. If you're an experienced driver, over 5 months experience, again, you do not have to go out with a trainer, but that has to be recent. Can't be 5 months, 5 years ago. Needs to be 5 months recent. Over the road. Okay, so, but I do want to, I know there's a lot of entry level folks that are listening to this call, so let me briefly touch on how that training piece is going to work. So she mentioned the 2 weeks in Tulsa. That's in Tulsa for orientation. And then we provide the breakfast, lunch, the hotel, transportation, all that stuff like Jade mentioned for $1,200 for the 2 weeks. Then you're going to go with a trainer for 3 weeks. Okay? Now, this is really, really, really important for those of you that are in school right now and you're looking at different carriers. One of the questions that you definitely want to talk to a recruiter about is ask about the trainer. How long has the trainer been with your company? Do they have a good safety record? And I'm telling you guys this stuff because our trainers have been with Melton for close to 12 months before they can request or apply to become a trainer. So they go through a process themselves. They have to be here for a year. They can't have any accidents, preventables. And then we bring them to Tulsa for a train the trainer program. And we teach them defensive driving Smith system. They're all certified to teach it. It's the best defensive driving, I don't know what I'm trying to think of, just way to do things that I've ever seen. It's awesome to know this Smith system defensive driving techniques. So we teach that to our students. And then the great thing about our trainers is, they're doing this because they want to do it.
Yeah.
They're not doing it because of the pay. I mean, the pay's okay, but they're doing it because they want to teach that next student. And they want to use their experience and what they've done here at Melton to help the next generation of students that are coming in.
Yeah.
That's really cool. And we try to match similar personalities on the tractor too, because you're going to be spending 3 weeks with this person. And this trainer is going to teach you the lifestyle of a driver, of a professional over-the-road driver, from, rest stops to go to, the when you grab showers, all that stuff, the lifestyle, because it's not like anything you've ever done before.
Yeah.
I can promise you that.
It's something totally
different, right? And so these trainers are out there to help you get through that and figure all that out. And obviously, they're going to be you're going to be driving all over the United States with your trainer. Pretty much. I mean, not East Coast, West Coast, and everything in between, but it's going to be as far as they can go in that 3 weeks. And the trainer's going to be sitting next to you, not driving. You're going to be driving. The trainer's never going to be in the back asleep. They're going to be sitting next to you the whole time and coaching and helping and guiding you through the 3 weeks. Yeah.
Well, and the best part about the training process too is you're kind of developing that relationship with someone who, even if you're with us, 6 months after you're off the trainer truck and you get a crazy load that you're not sure, that's someone that you can reach out to and already have that relationship with and say, what do I do this time? And so it's just a really nice way to kind of already have those friendships embedded in the company that can help you out later on.
Exactly. Yep. Okay, great. So, and you have any questions about the orientation or training? And also, I'm seeing a lot of questions, Sharon. That's great. Keep them coming. But I was going to let you know, too, that Jade and I will provide, or Jade will, not me. Jade's going to provide her phone number at the end of this. And I'm just kidding. I'll provide mine, too. And we can answer additional questions one-on-one, too, if you guys have questions.
Absolutely.
So,
We can talk, and you can ask us that way as well.
Yes. Yes, awesome.
Kind of moving in, let's talk about some other cool things Melton offers you.
Okay.
So these are things you may not think about necessarily beforehand, especially if you're a trainee. Maybe the experienced guys would see it a little bit more. But some things that we have. So at our terminal, like I said, we really focus on, health and wellness, especially being a flatbed. This job, we need you guys to be healthy to do it. So some of the things that we offer here is we have a full clinic with a doctor on site.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you guys need, flu medicine, allergy medicine, or if you have, generic medications that you need as well, you're able to swing by, grab those there and then be on your way. That's just something that makes your life a little bit easier while being on the road. Also at our terminal, you're going to have a full gym. And the gym is wonderful, so you're able to kind of run in. Yeah, just like that.
Whatever.
Yeah. You're able to run in, get a workout in, while you're here. And another cool benefit you have is Brett. So Brett is he's our wellness manager. He's going to be available to you with Melton to help you meal prep on the road, which comes back to that fridge and how important it is to have it. He's also going to help you, find workouts. If you're on the road and you're running all 48 states, how are you going to get a workout in while you're out there?
Right.
So he's able to kind of work with you through that, kind of see what that would look like, what you can do. But you're not always going to be at the terminal, especially with us driving over the road. So we make sure that you still have access to things like that while you're out there. So you're going to have what's called MD Live. I don't know if many of you guys have heard about that. I hadn't heard about it until I came on board with Melton.
Yeah.
But you're able to basically FaceTime a doctor. So if you're out in Wyoming, needing something, you're able to FaceTime a doctor, tell them what's going on, and they're able to call in a prescription for you close to your area. And that's also available to your families when you're out there as well, so it kind of relieves some of that stress. And then lastly, something that we definitely want to make sure you have is, like I said, we have a gym in the terminal. But if you guys do want to get a gym membership, so you're wanting to go get a Planet Fitness or Anytime Fitness, we do reimburse up to $15 a month for you to have that gym membership as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a lot of other things that that we provide that, I just take for granted. Like, I think people understand that we pay for tolls, that we pay for, we have this can bypass scales. We have those things in the tractor that allow that. So just piggybacking off the benefits topic, and also, like I said, we provide the showers and such. So you definitely want to make sure that the carriers that you're going to work with, whether it's for us or someone else, they take care of you that way as well, because you don't want to have out-of-pocket expenses. Because they can add. They can
add up. Yeah, it may not sound like a lot right off the bat, but as you're doing it and you're doing over the road for a long time, they can add up quick.
Yeah. So those are awesome things. So thanks for sharing all that stuff.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So I also want to bring up the another really good benefit is the Pet and Rider program that we have. So we allow any breed of dog under 90 pounds. If you bring a Great Dane, that's probably going to get weighed, and you probably don't want to do that, right?
Yeah, if it's your size, maybe reconsider.
Bull Mastiffs are great dogs, but they're like 9,000 pounds. So you probably don't want to bring a Bull Mastiff on the truck. Just saying. But really, any breed under 90 pounds we allow. There is a pet deposit. It's fully refundable as long as there's no damage to the tractor. We allow a cat. I'm not quite sure why, but listen, I love cats. I have two.
She has two cats.
I do, and they're great. But my cats would flip out if they were on a truck. But we do allow that, and I know kitty cats are sometimes okay on the tractor. So there's also a pet deposit for your cat if you have a cat. Those are the only two animals we got. No birds, no snakes, no rats.
No
Before
fish.
You start
I've gotten that before.
Ain't gonna happen. Fish?
Yeah, gotten fish before.
Maybe fish should be okay. I don't know.
Right on the dash?
Yeah, I'll have to ask Lisa Mason about a fish. Oh, gosh. Okay, so I think... Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So, we've kind of been talking about over the road. We've mentioned it several times, how we're running all 48, but we haven't necessarily gone into what that over the road looks like.
Yeah.
So kind of what we go by is if you are east of I-35, so you guys know where you live, if you're east of I-35, Our basic home time policy is that we're going to have you out for 14 days, and then you'll be home for 2 days.
Yeah.
If you live west of I-35, what you're looking at is you're going to be out for 3 weeks at a time and then home for 3 days. So again, that's just kind of our most basic home time policy. We actually do have a map. I think it's on our Melton website. I can double check, but this is what it looks like. The dark green area is the 2 weeks out, and the light green area is the 3 weeks out. However, Melton has some really cool policies in place that help you guys have more control over your home time. So we have what's called bankable home days. This is something that's pretty rare as far as we don't have a cap on it. So say you stay out for 6 weeks instead of 2 weeks, if that's your normal home time out, you will you go home for 3 days instead of using the full 6 days. Those 3 days that you didn't use will be able to go back in the bank, and they'll never expire, and they do roll over. So you're able to kind of stay out as long as you want. You don't have to go home every 14 if you don't want to, but those home days that you're banking will never expire, and we don't cap them. So you're able to build as many as you'd like.
Awesome. And what else can you do as far as like home time? Like, can you switch home domiciles?
Absolutely. So, like I said, that map that you kind of saw, the dark green area right now. So you can actually change if you live in the dark green area. You can change your home area to any of those other dark green states. So if you live normally in Arkansas and you're wanting to go visit North Carolina, then you can change your home domicile to the North Carolina if you want to visit family, or you can move it to Georgia, or any of those dark green states you can move it to. So again, that just gives you an opportunity to see some really cool things in the U.S. It gives you an opportunity to maybe see more family if you have family that's spread out. So it's just more control for you and more flexibility on where you're going.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So what about Christmas? I want to go home for Christmas.
Oh, this is
Sorry,
awesome.
you can't.
Nope, not with Melton.
Nope.
You can go home for Christmas. Absolutely. We guarantee Christmas Day home, which is pretty rare. So it's something that, tell your families that that's something that's important to them. If your wife or husband or, kids are saying, but we want you home on Christmas, you can say that you will be with us.
Yeah.
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 We also have 2 other guaranteed home days a year. So if you have some major events going on and you need to tell your family that you can be home, you have 2 a year that you can guarantee home time for.
There are blackout dates for that. I'm just saying this for the record so everyone knows. It's around Christmas, the holidays, November, December time frame. But like say it's July and I'm in Oregon and I got to get home back to Tulsa because my daughter, knock on wood, was in a car wreck or something, and it's an emergency. She's hurt.
Yeah.
So I call my Diem. I'm like, hey, I need to get home. I mean, they don't even ask. They probably ask, hey, what's wrong? But you get the point. We will get you home.
Yeah.
Okay, that's one of your guaranteed home days. If you want to use that for whatever reason, you can. Or maybe you forgot you had something planned. Oh God, I gotta get home. Again, twice a year, there's blackouts, but that's kind of cool to know that, something happened.
Or even like an anniversary date or something like that. It just gives you guys that ability to say, I need to be home.
Yeah. So I think that about wraps it up.
Yeah.
And I know these questions are coming in, and I'm seeing that we have someone that's answering some of them. So I'm guessing that everybody can see the questions and the answer. Yeah. Okay, great. I was going to see if the terminals, I've seen this several times. The terminals we have are in Birmingham and Youngstown, Ohio, Missouri. Of course, Tulsa's the corporate. No, we're not having orientation in Birmingham right now. I saw that too. And then we have El Paso, and then we have Laredo. So those are the main 5 terminals that we have. And all the dispatching is done out of Tulsa. Another thing we forgot to mention, do we slip seat?
No.
What does that even mean?
Yeah, right. That's something that, last week we were at about 6 different schools, some great schools, and very few have heard of slip seating. So that's something that maybe it's just something we do need to talk about a little bit.
Right.
So what that's going to look like, so say you're with a company and you go on home time. So if they do slip seating, what that looks like is they have you take everything out of your truck. So you'll take out that TV, you'll take out that microwave, that George Foreman, you'll take it all out. Another driver will be put in your truck, and then whenever they're done, they'll bring it back to you and you put everything back in. So that's what slip seating is. So it just is a little bit more of you moving all of your stuff in and out.
Yep.
Luckily with Melton, we don't do slip seating.
That's right. So that truck's assigned to you, right?
Yep, it's your rig. You're going to be able to treat it like it's your home.
And I live in, Corpus Christi, Texas. Can I take my truck home?
Yes.
Okay. I live in Portland, Oregon.
Yep.
Okay. Do you hire from all 48 states?
Yes.
Oh,
no
wow.
matter where you live, we're going to be able to bring you on board and work with you, and you'll also get to take your truck home with you.
Yeah.
So we're not expecting you to be at the Tulsa terminal and then getting yourself home then.
Yeah. Yeah. And our load planners, our driver managers are brilliant, and they will get you home most often when you request to be home. I'm talking about 95, 98% of the time, on time to the day. Over-the-road carriers, you guys, 23 years in the industry, we couldn't say that 20 years ago. We couldn't say that 10 years ago. So we really focus. We know how important home time is. We know how important family time is. We know how important it is to be home.
Yeah.
So we're going to do everything we can under the sun to get you home the day you need to be home.
Yeah.
The great thing, too, is, like, if we get you home the day before, well, that's, like, you requested to be home on August 15th. We got you home on the 14th. That's on us. So your home time is not going to start till the 15th, but we got you home the day before. How cool is that?
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
Just extra time for you with your family.
Yeah.
Because we understand if your families are struggling or they're not having a good time, then you guys probably are not doing your jobs or having as much fun doing your jobs, and we don't want that.
Right.
We want our drivers happy on the truck, so that's something that we focus on a lot.
We do, and I applaud our operations department because they do a really good job with.
Yeah, they work really hard.
Yeah, they do. So one of the things is questions was, I have 26 years driving but no flatbed, tie down, and tarping, and that's okay. You'll still go through the 2-week orientation. Again, that first week is that what Jade was talking about, where the different folks come in and talk from different departments. You'll have the road test, drug test, physical. Yeah, there's a physical here too, a new physical. And I'm going to throw this out there because I know people might be thinking we do a UA and a hair follicle drug test, just so you know. But the other part I was talking about was I lost my train of thought. Jeez, what's wrong with me?
The physical.
Yeah, but the second week of orientation for the gentleman that asked the experience will be the load securement tie-down piece that you'll learn how to do. You would not have to go with a trainer.
Right.
Okay? Only people going with trainers are just out of school, or maybe they haven't drove in 10 years. And that's another question I saw. I have a CDL, but I haven't used it in 10 years. Well, that's fine. You can come here. We're going to do a road test, right? That's the tricky thing. And you've got to be able to pass that road test, even though you got a CDL. Doesn't mean after 10 years of being off the truck that you're just going to be able to slide right in and drive it. And for some people it does mean that, but for some it doesn't. And so, that's kind of going to be something that you're going to have to figure out maybe before you come. Can you still drive? Do you still know, some of the driving tests that we do, I think is pretty basic, but it is very safety minded. And you have to come to complete stops on our road test. You have to use your blinkers. You have to use your mirrors. You have to drive the speed limit, not over the speed limit. You can't miss exits and such. And, when you've got a 53-foot flatbed trailer behind you plus your tractor, and you haven't drove for 10 years and you're coming and wanting to do this road test, guys and gals, you need to think about that, and maybe you want to go take a refresher somewhere before, or do some studying, or maybe get in a truck, a friend that's got practice, because we see that more often than not, that people that haven't drove in a long time, and we invite them to come, sometimes they pass with flying colors and sometimes they don't. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
And that's something that if you are prepared for and you know to be prepared for it, maybe it'll help a little bit. Just kind of evaluating whether or not you feel comfortable getting in a truck right away.
And the home time, yes, like she said, it does depend on where you live. So if it's east of I-35, it's 2 weeks out. Except Florida is 3 weeks and Maine's 3 weeks.
Right.
West of I-35 is 3 weeks out. Okay? So Florida and Maine, 3 weeks. and then east to I-35 to the is 2, and then west I-35 is 3.
Yeah. Yeah, we also have, we did forget to go over rider policy. I'm glad someone reminded
Oh,
us.
dang it. That's my fault.
Yeah, so we do allow a rider. So right out of training, so once you're off of the trainer, if you're a trainee, as soon as you get your own truck, you're able to have a rider with you. So someone 18 years or older, they can ride all year long. And you can have a child as young as 10 ride in the summer months when they're not in school.
Yeah. Yeah, that's nice. Very nice, because the fact that you can take anybody with you over 18 years old, I mean, it's pretty cool. You
Yeah.
can take your brother, your sister, your parents, I mean, whatever, or your spouse, and we have a one of our female flatbed drivers. Yes, we do hire female flatbed drivers, and I'm going to tell you, the ladies can rock it with flatbed.
Oh, yeah. Go women in trucking.
Heck yeah. And so this one driver of ours, she brought her daughter with her recently,
Yeah.
and they were on the road together, and they were posting pictures.
The pictures were so fun. They just had such a great time.
Yeah.
And I followed that the whole week that they were together. I followed that, and I loved seeing it.
Yeah.
So
and she
we
was
definitely
pretty little,
encourage
like
it.
what, 11, 12 years old?
Yeah, and they just got to experience so much together, and I'm sure those memories will be something they think about forever. So
Yeah.
I loved seeing it.
Yeah. No, that was really awesome. And I think, let's see, what other questions do we have? That's probably about it. Oh, thank you. We pulled that up
Yeah.
for you. And just want to make sure we covered everything. Just forced dispatch. So yes, we are forced dispatch, and we do run all 48 states in Canada. Now we don't force dispatch into Canada, like I mentioned earlier. It is optional, but if you can go to Canada, you will need a passport. But we don't force dispatch. Now, whenever someone asks me about forced dispatch, I'll come back with where is it that you want to talk about that you don't want to go. And generally, it's that northeast New York area. With like the boroughs in New York City and such, we're not going down there often. I'd say less than 2 or 3% of our loads are going there, but you can't turn it down if you do get one there. But the thing is, we get you in and we get you out. So you're not spending the night down there. Generally, the driver manager's like, okay, I deliver and then come right back out and get you to a easier area to be in. So I just wanted to point that out with New York City. We don't go there much, but somebody said that we're a good team. We think so too. Thank you for that compliment. Someday I'll be with my son, and that would be fantastic.
Absolutely.
Yes, we would love it if you. And we like it when people take pictures
Oh,
and post a picture.
love
man. And
pictures.
that's so cool. I know it. So if you decide to do that and you want to take pictures with your children on the truck, or child on the truck, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And pet friendly, yep, yes. And we are, like I mentioned, we have the dog, less than 90 pounds, any breed, or a cat, less than 90 pounds. I'm
Yeah.
a cat too.
Yeah. And Ross, we are over the road. That's what we specialize in. We do have one regional run that goes just Texas and Oklahoma. So you'd have to live in the Tulsa, Dallas, Houston area. Other than that, it is fully over the road.
Yeah. And Ryan mentioned right there, mostly over the road. We do have the regional, but there is a waiting list, and that's 100% correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes that waiting list goes really quick, and it's a couple month wait, and sometimes it could be a little longer or shorter.
Yeah.
So just FYI on that. We found a lot of people want to do regional because they want to be home on the weekends, right? But the pay's different.
Yeah.
Now, what I mean by that is the miles are different. So the miles aren't. It's not as much.
Yeah.
You're not getting as many miles, and so I think a lot of people decide to go back over the road because the pay's a bit better, and it's not bad. I mean, it's not. It's a
Right.
1,100-1,200 a week, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but I think you can make a little bit more going over the road.
And that is why if you do, call in and get someone on our recruiting team, we do focus a lot on what your needs are. So we'll talk with you about those options. We'll kind of see if home time's a little bit more important to you or if pay's a little bit more important to you. And we kind of tell you all the options. So that way we can make sure that we're meeting what you need. Because the last thing we want to do is bring someone on and we're not able to meet those needs. So we spend a lot of time on that whenever you talk with us through your recruiting process.
Yeah. And William, you had asked a question about you're thinking about getting, I'm not quite sure I understand your question. Are you thinking about getting a truck or wanting to get to a school? And so our education program, I'm not sure, you're talking about like the tuition reimbursement, because if that's what you're talking about, it's up to $10,000 and we pay that directly back to you, $150 a month.
Right.
If that's not what you're talking about, maybe call Jade.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and give you, or let you talk about your phone number and how to contact you.
Yeah, so you guys can reach me anytime. You know, I can always answer your questions, get you started on the process, whether that's a pre-hire letter for those of you in school or whether that's actually through getting your application done with us to start. So you can call me. My name is, again, Jade. That's Jayde. And that number is going to be 918-270-9590. You can reach me. That's my direct phone number, so it'll come straight to me. Or if you want to email me as well, and we can set up a time that works best for you, if you'd like, we can do that as well. And that's going to be Jade, again, Jayde, .Hightower, HIGHTOWER, at meltontruck.com. And so like I said, whether that's wanting a pre-hire letter, just asking questions, or actually wanting to get your application started, I can do any of those, so reach out to me anytime.
Yeah, and Emily, our admin gal, will add Jade's phone number, and her email here, so if you guys wanted to see that, you could get it again. She can add that. And that number again, one more time, was
918-270-9590.
9590. And I'm 918-270-9630. My name is Leslie Vincent. And 918-270-9630. And Jade and I are have our phones with us all the time, so feel free to call us, and we can certainly help and answer any questions you guys have.
Absolutely.
And there's Jade's number. And then
I do see here someone asked manual or automatic.
Yeah.
So we are fully automatic, so that's what you're going to be getting with us.
Right. And William, you said I answered your question. Great. Okay. Thank you. Thanks for replying. And I think that's about it. Does anybody else have any other questions? We can kind of give it another minute or so, and if you do, please throw them out there, and we'll get to them, or give us a call.
Yes, always reach out.
Yeah.
Like I said, we're always happy to help, and especially if you just have some questions about, your personal application or anything like that, we'll definitely be able to walk through it, go through it all, and make sure it works.
Yeah, and we're going to be, transparent about everything when it comes to orientation, about what we do here. We're wanting to bring people to Melton that are going to be here for the long haul. So it's extremely important that we know things, up front when we're talking about through the application, and bringing you here to Tulsa for orientation for that 2 weeks. We want to make sure that you're comfortable and that this is a great experience, and we hope that this has been helpful for everyone. Yeah. And we would love to see you in our orientation someday.
Yeah. For me, there's no better feeling than whenever a driver's been here for a while and they know that we brought them on, and they say that we're transparent and open and honest. And so we focus on that a lot, and we'll be sure to do that with you as well.
Absolutely. And I was going to end the call, but there's one more question, so I'm not going to end it yet. And that is the premiums on the health insurance.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Sorry, we forgot to mention that.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different ways you can look at it, because it's going to depend on what kind of plan you're looking for, whether it's covering you or a whole family or you and a spouse. So that's going to depend. That's something that I would love to talk with you more about. I think David sent it in. So David, give me a call. I will tell you that our premiums are below the industry average. So if it's a full family, you're looking at around, again, these are estimates, not exacts, because it's going to depend, but around $400 a month. And then if it's just you as a person by yourself, it's going to be around $80 to $90. So, but we can go into more what that would look like personally if you want to give me a call.
Yeah, awesome. And thank you guys. You've been professional as well with all your questions. We appreciate it. And thank you very much. And give us a call if you'd like more information about anything. And we hope to talk to you soon. Have a great weekend.
Yes. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Bye, y'all. Thank you.